Lucy is a 30-year-old freelance journalist who was living in Fulham and had noticed a new coffee shop open up on the high street. She decided one day to head in and set up for a full day of writing. She arrived at Trini's cafe, ordered herself a triple shot latte and started writing in a seat outside. While Lucy was paying for her latte, she found out about a volunteers befriending service while chatting with the friendly man working in the cafe. Lucy's working pattern was quite flexible and she loved to cook. Perhaps she could volunteer some of her time to cook and share a yummy meal. The staff gave her a volunteers package which contained all that she needed to know about Trinity's befriending service. For 2 years, Lucy volunteered one evening a week to prepare and eat dinner at an old person's home. Lucy loved the time she spent with older generations. She found they had so many stories to tell and wisdom to share. However, when she fell pregnant, she knew she would have to give this up. 8 years later, Lucy's mother Barbara became abnormally tired and a series of tests showed that her mother had leukemia. The hospital recommended that Lucy attend a workshop for carers at Trinity's house and gave her a leaflet. Lucy remembered Royal Trinity fondly and was relieved to learn that there was a drop-in session running the next day. Lucy attended the whole series of Education for Carers classes, where a district nurse taught her how to administer drugs, what kind of exercises would be suitable for her mother, and even learned how she could manage the stress of becoming a carer. After one of her classes, she was getting herself her favourite triple shot latte when she bumped into her son's teacher, Mrs. Carter. It turned out that Mrs. Carter was meeting with Trinity's house to discuss a schools programme that Royal Trinity had been trialling. This programme would help children understand that death is a part of life. Lucy felt reassured and thought it would be great for her son in particular to attend, given his grandmother's current condition. As Barbara's treatment progressed, the chemotherapy took hold of her appetite and she began to become quite weak, which was incredibly distressing to Lucy's son. Lucy thought everyone could benefit from the cooking classes at Trinity's house, so they all went along together while having fun and spending time together in cookery classes. The nutritionist also advised Barbara on supplements and they made an 8-week meal plan. While the extra support from Trinity's house helped Barbara manage her symptoms, eventually the cancer took hold and with Trinity's support, Barbara peacefully passed away. Lucy felt a sense of relief that her mother was no longer in pain, but then began to slip into a spiral of guilt and anger. Fortunately, the emotional support she received at Trinity's house helped her to return to her happy and healthy self. Ricky is a 50-year-old artist living in Hammersmith. His photographer friend Adrian was holding an exhibition at Trinity's house, so Ricky decided to go along and support his friend. On his way to get a drink from the cafe, Ricky walked through the information point. Here, he noticed that Trinity offers a drop-in advice session to help start difficult conversations with loved ones about the effects of growing older. Ricky's dad, Roy, recently had a fall and he just couldn't face discussing the idea of a care home with his dad. However, Ricky decided to return to Trinity's house the next day for the session run by a lovely lady called Moira. With the skills he learned in Moira's class, Ricky was able to break the conversation with his dad over potentially moving into a care home. Roy was against the idea. He had lived in his Hammersmith home all of his life and was very happy there. Fortunately, Ricky had also learned from Trinity about the effects physio can have on rebuilding strength and preventing falls, which Roy was much happier to try first. So while Roy attended the physio class, Ricky treated himself to a massage at the in-house spa. Ricky's dad warmed to Trinity's house and interacted with some of the many services they had available to him, such as occupational therapy, where a special nurse came to his house to show him how it could be adapted to meet his changing needs. Ricky and his dad were walking through the beautiful garden at Trinity's house when they both decided it might be time to ask Trinity for advice about care homes. Ricky's father was incredibly grateful that he had been able to live so independently for so long, but thought it was time to move to a more safe and social environment.